The gap between what people can afford and the price of a house in the southwest is already challenging enough for some, but is set to get tougher still. Exclusive research for BBC Spotlight suggests the region has been the worst affected of any outside London over the past decade. Here's our business correspondent, Neil Gallacher.
From Dorset down to the Isles of Scilly, the gap between earnings and house prices is a problem that leaves virtually no community untouched. And as you get closer to the coast in particular, you get pockets of unaffordability that are absolutely eye-watering. Here in St Ives in Cornwall, for example, there was an auction recently which saw 3 parking spaces go for £50,000 plus each. Small wonder that the price of somewhere to live here is completely beyond so many locals, even some of those you'd probably assume would be property owners, like Councillor Andrew Mitchell. Just a few years ago, he was helping run Cornwall as the economy portfolio holder. But at 47, he's still living in his mother's house where he grew up, with his mother and grandmother. He spoke to me in a personal capacity.
We've got 3 generations all living in the same house, which I think is most probably more common than people actually realise. There are benefits from living with 2 more generations, but there's also drawbacks, and it's like your personal life and how your life is moving along. And many people of my age should be, having their own home, their own house, and we just can't afford it.
Pauline Ryder is more fortunate. She and her husband bought their South Devon council house in 1999. It has 3 bedrooms. They paid £35,000. Even though the house can't be sold on to anyone who doesn't live and work in the area, the property itself has still risen in value several times over.
My children can't even afford to live here. If they do, they have to rent. And that sometimes is more than what a mortgage is.
This isn't just an issue for would-be home buyers, it also causes problems for local employers, because potential new recruits sometimes discover they can't afford to move to the area. More on that in Spotlight later.
And Neil is with me now. Neil, give us a bit more detail about how our different counties fit into the wider picture.
There is actually an official National League table of unaffordability, and it ranks the 88 main bits of England outside London. And if we look now at the sharp end of that table, you can see how badly we are affected. Dorset, for example, 3rd out of 88 places nationally. A little farther down, you've got Cornwall, 10th on that list of places. Devon not far behind, 15th out of 88. And also, you've got Somerset and Torbay in the top half of that table.
And how does the BBC's research sort of add to this picture?
What it tells us is, about a decade ago, during the boom years, this region, more than any other, saw a really steep worsening in affordability. And that's a concern now, because there appears to be a ripple of rising house prices heading our way, and there's little or no sign of our very low local wages rising to meet it.
Neil, for now, thank you.